Namaskar, good morning and good evening, my dear friends. I am very glad and I'm really delighted to be part of these sessions. And I hope and I assume that all is well with you. Even if it is not the case, but the good news we have is we are able to fight out, we are able to battle the situation that are against you, that are keeping you in a disturbed form, or there are some things that are really troubling you. Do not worry. You keep working against it, you keep fighting against it, definitely you can overcome. But there are ways to overcome, there are ways to fight it out. And that's exactly the reason why we are time and again picking up various topics that are really keeping us disturbed in some or other ways, in some by some or other means, or through some or other person, right? Sometimes it is human related matters, sometimes it is circumstance related matters, sometimes it is a political condition, economical change that whole world is battling, or a pestilence like COVID. So there is no specific reason as why it is happening time and again. When am I going to see a kind of a calm and consistent mindset, or in life when I would be seeing a tenure, for example, 10 years, I don't want to see a single problem in life. That never happens. Probably after death, because why? You will rest in peace. As long as we live in this world, we have to learn to move along with the troubles or problems that comes through various sources, and we have to find ways to battle it out. All right. So the whole objective of these sessions are to help you build as overcomers, and the society needs that, right? The mankind needs that kind of encouragement. At another session, at another time, at another moment, and at another topic. What is the topic? Why do society call some people as stupids, idiots, fools? Correct? You feel good somebody call you, regardless of whether you are a literate or illiterate, regardless of whether you have gone through some of the promotion levels in your company, wherever you're working. Would you be enjoying if somebody calls you, hey stupid, come here, hey idiot, how many times to tell you this? Are you a fool? Are you mad? Something like that. Are you mad? At least is okay, because they couldn't believe what you have decided. But are you a fool? Are you an idiot? Are you stupid? These three are called as, technically they are called as, by law, they are abusive languages. I want you to know this. Many of us don't even know. We use these kind of words or languages in front of people, or in front of a group, or in front of individuals, right? Or talking about someone. When you talk about someone to someone, you use this abusive language, and the person is going to communicate that this person used this language and he called you an idiot. There is a witness, there is a proof, and this person can take you to court, and he can basically help you to attract certain punishments according to the law of the land, according to the penal code. Not trying to threaten anyone here, but most of us in this country, we don't even know how worse it is to call someone using these three different words. And in Hindi, they call us pagal, a bevakufi hai kya, something like that. It's a common language, it's a common norm that is being used during college days, during school days. Because why? We are just growing children and we are friends. It's okay, you call each other that way, but the same culture gets carried forward into your family. For example, you are married and you continue to use that language towards your wife or husband. Not allowed, it's bad. And then you beget kids, your children, from childhood, all the way from 3 years or 4 years, toddlers, you consistently call them as idiot, idiot. What happens is the child, in the brain of the child, or there is a portion for memory, right? There is a portion for memory in brain. It will get strongly registered, and the child's attitude will be tightly coupled with something called as, oh, I'm an idiot. So next time somebody calls the child an idiot, the child won't feel anything, because the child is already in the depressed state that I am good for nothing. What is the other meaning for idiot? What is the other meaning for stupid? You're good for nothing. In other words, you're calling your own colleague, you're calling your own wife, you're calling your own husband as you're, yeah, good for nothing, come here, something like that, right? Which is something that we can correct. In Indian culture, it is just part of our system. Many people don't even know that it is an abusive language. Abusive language is something else. They use all sorts of bad words and bad language, which varies from culture to culture, language to language, person to person, community to community, culture to everything, And I'm not here to talk about those, and neither should we encourage. Talk in a decent language, talk in a polite language, talk in a language that really could bring something good out of people, right? As a source of encouragement. But unfortunately, people are really careful to handle such bad languages in society, at least in public, right? But these kind of words, they don't even know it is part of those abusive languages. Yeah, even I was surprised when I was Googling. I'm not a saint. I have done the mistakes, such mistakes, many times in my life, but I have really spoken to myself. How do you feel when someone call you, hey, you are an idiot? How would I feel? I should extend the same feeling towards others and refrain from using such language. All right, I think that is good enough for a context setting. Brother or bro or friend, somebody is asking me, don't you have any other topics? Very important topic, bro, because the social media is very powerful. What if somebody is going to picture it and post it in a social media and CC one copy to police station and CC one copy to, for example, NDTV? You're finished, I'm telling you. Maybe it will attract at least 1 month of jail or some rupees of penalty. If not both, you have become very famous because you have abused somebody and you will be the talk of the town. It's not only about protecting your skin, but it's all about protecting other person's motives. In fact, you're pulling down other person's self-esteem. That's the number one point. By using such abusive languages, how it could impact the other person is what we are going to review. It's going to be a very short session. In 10 minutes, I will close. Okay. The moment I call someone an idiot, the first thing I already told you, you are instilling something very strong in that person's mind, that he or she is good for nothing. If it is even worse with the female. For example, according to the culture, according to the gender, men are basically created by God to take care of the weaker vessels, but they are not weaker vessels. It's not to be defined that way. Husband is the head of the house. Why? Because he has a big responsibility to take care of his wife, protect his wife, love his wife, care for his wife. And how come, if you are using such languages against your wife, you are pulling her motives completely down? Likewise, against children, you are actually registering that thought. Against your friend, against your colleague, right? Or subordinates. You are the manager of some team. You're a director of some company. You're calling your subordinates as, hey, idiot, good for nothing, come here. Hey, useless, come here. That's what it means. You have no rights to call somebody as useless, because all of us are good in some areas, all of us are strong in certain areas. Wherever you are strong, not necessarily I am strong. Wherever I am weak, not necessarily you are weak. Therefore, there is no judgmental factor that allows you to call somebody with that name of good for nothing, or whether entitling them as, hey, useless, come here. How many times to tell you, you good for nothing, come here? Other name for idiot is what I'm trying to tell you. Correct? People decently cover up the name of idiot and call some people this way. That is also not allowed. Who are you to judge somebody's character, right? Who are you to abuse someone's character? Obviously, we will talk about the tips how to overcome, right? First thing is, with your own relations, you don't use, among your friends, you don't use. You're leaving behind. What are the impacts we leave behind when we call a person? This is the thing. Second thing is, you're pulling down that person's self-esteem. More often, when you use that language in public and 10 people are watching, the person's self-esteem is pulled down, and it really makes the person kind of demotivated, discouraged, disappointed. And to kind of build that motives, it may take several years sometimes. And why are you being the reason for such you are the reason for such things to happen in a person's life. You must be the reason for something good to happen in a person's life. Thirdly, when rage, road rage, or rage, domestic violence, or whatever, in the form of anything, or any arguments, you end up using this language. This is another circumstance based, where you are calling the other person. This is the third level of reason and impact. Both side by side we are analyzing. What is the reason that during the rage situations you end up calling the other person idiot? Because the other person disagrees with you, the other person refuses to agree with you. For example, in traffic, You always say that you are right. The other guy also says feels he is right. Both of you abuse each other with all kind of languages or words like stupids, idiots, and fools. You are a fool and all that. Correct? Never expect anyone to agree with you 100%. It will never happen in this world. More so in this era, in the millennium era, in the social media era, it is never going to be the case. And in democratic country like India, every one of us have right to express what they feel is right. I will tell you one little incident. Okay, this is not to hurt anyone. This is a little incident. At my hometown, I have a neighbor. I still have her as my neighbor, and the person thinks that feeding cats is the right thing to do. I'm also not against the um, habit of feeding animals, right? Animals really, when they're starving, they're going to die. They're going to be dead and gone. But breeding animals is not allowed. Actually, if you can grow such animals in your campus, in your house, which can never become a nuisance to your neighbor. Now what happens, not only to me, they have started to breed cats. It's not like feeding cats. Feeding is nothing but breeding. Sometimes it ends up to be that way. They keep milk, they keep all this water, this and that, but they don't cage that animal, or they don't almost like 15 or 20 cats actually always they keep feeding, and they are not able to manage it within their compound. They are not able to keep 15 or 20 cats in their within their home, but ultimately they have a great passion to feed the animals. Nothing wrong. But what happens is these cats are actually spreading across, and they do all sorts of I see a lot of cat dungs right inside my compound, everywhere, over my car, and also across the campus. In our gated community, there are at least like 25 individual houses. All the houses, it tears certain, the car seats, car covers, sorry, the two-wheeler seats, right? It scratches. It has a habit to scratch. I'm an animal lover too, right? I'm all for Blue Cross. Is this right? If I say it is wrong, to that person, she is not going to agree. No, it is right. It's my right to feed any animals I want. Can I call her stupid? No. Can she call me stupid because you don't have love and care for animals and society and all that? Not allowed. This is the kind of world we are living in. What is a kind, I did a session on nuisance, right? What is that is irritating you? What you disagree with other person becomes an irritation for you. Could be a reason that you are secretly abusing that person in your heart, if not openly. It starts from the heart, so fix it within your heart, and the externals will be easily manageable and taken care. I just told you one incident, and it's really, really irritating. And irritating in the sense I'm not able to manage, or all the people, residents, are not able to manage. At some point of time, we even thought we will file a police complaint, we will go to Blue Cross and all that, but all people have given up, saying that ultimately everyone have a human heart, right? They said that fine, leave it. It is her attitude. She is not understanding. 24 families are suffering. One family is enjoying. This is how she is. So leave it. May God answer this. Something like that. Spiritually, people left it behind, but all of us are struggling and suffering. Now, who's a idiot in this concept or context? Who is a stupid in this context? Are you able to judge? I'm not able to judge. Yeah, for some time many of us were angry, but then there is no right or wrong in this. Like these situations always crosses your path, where it pushes you to a confusing state, and a lot of delusion also sometimes, and confusions, that you're not able to decide. So immediately don't pour out, immediately don't go for a fight, especially don't use such languages. It is definitely not going to help. Rather, you can take a peace path and talk to the person. We tried that, but the person is kind of little stubborn, a little hard, and saying that no, nothing doing. How can you question my privacy and liberty? This is the question. So we can't help it. You also go through many situations. Cat is one situation like that. You have many situations. Stray dog is another thing, and animals, you forget it, right? At office also, one guy always playing music loudly. Office. And if I ask, it's my right. Why can't you use the headset, dude? That you can at least come go to the HR or your manager. That guy will still listen. Why? Because in a closed corporate environment, there are rules he will follow. But the same thing he can practice in the bus. He can practice in the train he travels. He can try even practice in any other places. And if somebody questions, he will go for a fight. Hey, what is your problem and all that. Correct? And if he doesn't agree, then he is an idiot according to him. Wrong. Very wrong attitude. All right. So I think my time is up actually. So the if somebody disagrees with us, we call that person as stupids or idiots, which is not allowed. Now, what are the tips to overcome? Tips to overcome is very, very simple. Already I covered. Very, very simple. Accept the person as he or she is. You will never ever end up in this abusive language. That's how their DNA is. That's how their genetical structure is. That's how their mindset is. You can try your best to help them understanding that what they are doing is not something that people are liking. If they agree, well and good. If they disagree, do not count them as your enemy. Do not abuse them internally or externally through the words of your mouth. That's the way how we can build a very good society, a peaceful society. Yeah, sometimes unfortunately we have to go through the implications caused by other persons, negligence. They don't consider as much as you consider them compassionately, or consider their weaknesses compassionately. They don't consider it that way. But still, at some point of time, they are going to really think, I'm not as same as this guy. Some incident really will help them think. That's the human heart. Human heart is really good. Human heart is going to mellow down at some point of time. All right. So I think this session was good enough to anyone. If at all you are using these three languages, kindly refrain. At least when people are listening to you, yeah, in the worst case, start as if if you want to make people believe that they have understood you as a person who is not using these three abusive language, but inside of you there is full of rage. At least externally you stop, use that self control and you stop. And slowly, what happens is the inside also will change, right? The rage that is inside, the judgmental attitude that is inside will also change. Make efforts, right? And have that self control. Else, either a person will judge you and punish you, or law will judge and punish you. Either of these things are going to really, I'm not threatening anyone here, but at least by that means you can really, make efforts to respect the mankind, respect the society, respect any person. One more reason I told you, many people look down on illiterates, or someone who's not as good as them, or as good as me in terms of qualifications or certifications or whatever. Do you know how much I've studied? Do you know what our family background, or kind of wealth, how rich I am and all that? All these things will start to look down on people, and therefore you will ultimately have that negative implication, negative mindset on people. This is also another reason I forgot to cover that. All right, this is enough. I think 17 minutes. It's not a gyan, but I really felt that I need to tell few people that are listening to me. Therefore, it helps. Someone, even if one person is able to understand this, I think I'm victorious. Okay. God bless you. Take care. And soon we will meet you with another session. Any other session you need, please tell us, and we will definitely help you. Right. Until then, please subscribe to our channel. Do not miss on any notifications. There are lots of motivational videos, hundreds of videos already in our playlist. If you have missed any of those, please go there. It is waiting for you, right? It's really depressed and waiting for you, and you have to go and really embrace it tightly. It's only for your good we say this. God bless you. Take care. Namaste.